I very much realized very quickly the New Age religion was for the New World Order. It was very much a part of the conspiracy, and I was snapping out of a few of my ideologies, and I was leaning towards Christianity, and I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go to Christianity. I thought it was a stupid idea at first, and in no way can they have all the answers. But by 2014, over a long, arduous period of breaking down and finding no answers in the psychedelic world and in those Eastern philosophies, I broke down and asked God to show me the truth, and he did. And I was born again that day in March of 2014. And I from that day, I really buckled down and got to grips with biblical history and started looking into Christian contrarians and researchers out there at the time. It was a bit of a wild west of conspiracy back then, and there were some big names knocking about, like Michael Heiser, Rob Skiba. You had Gary Wayne. There was many L.A. Marzulli, all those conspiratorial types that were discussing the Nephilim and these giant skulls and the elongated skulls, the Paracas skulls and all these type of things. And I was just enthralled. I was like, this is incredible. This explains so much, and it makes the Bible come alive. Finally, I understand the history of why there was a flood, what happened in the antediluvian age, why God chose a people. Kind of all that narrative was becoming clear as day to me. But I also, naive to the rules of Christianity, I didn't realize that's actually heretical, anathema, extra biblical nonsense according to a lot of the churchianity types, so I learned that as I went. But for me, as somebody who wasn't raised in a church with any particular dogma, it works, it makes sense. I think it's real, I think it's true, and I think they were onto something. And it finally answers the hard questions of why a flood, why would a loving God do such a thing, and why all the genocide in the early parts of the Bible, why the wiping out of the women and the children and the animals and all the rest of it. Like, what's the point, but when you contextualize it with genetic corruption and giants and a rebellion of the angels, it suddenly starts to make a hell of a lot more sense.